That was the most embarrassing thing I'd ever watched in my life. Funny thing is, I was recording initially and my camera froze up. So I was going to give you a lot of ranting. I was going to give you a lot of bam, bam, because I really feel bam, bam. But I think the best way I could describe it is this is going to be slithering. If words could, oh my God, if I could become Daryl Morey right now, Ben Simmons had to be traded. But here's the problem. For what? And it's no longer in the context of, ooh, what you're replacing is valuable. No, it's in the context of, who's going to take this? This is a live meltdown. I've never seen anything like this. The man was always a bad free throw shooter. He had become Ben Wallace from the line. And with the new NBA rules on how you can foul even off the ball, he's unplayable. Let me describe the 3-6 losses. Because you fairly outplayed them for 38 minutes. Just like you did in games 4 and just like you did in game, well, not really in game 1. You outplayed them in the second half of game 1. But what happened? Game 1, 5 for 11 for the free throw line. Game 4, 1 for 6. Today, 4 for 14. There was a graph by TNT. Curry and Embiid, second half scoring, 36 points. Rest of the team, 6. I am done with Ben Simmons. Like, that's no longer in question. This is... Joshua Harris is watching these games. Daryl Morey is watching these games. Doc could talk all he wants about a floor game, but Daryl Morey is going to put his foot down and say, enough. The man can't rebound for you. He can't hit a 15-footer for you. He can't create a dribble for you. And he damn straight can't hit a free throw. I think I just named every prerequisite skill, be it for a guard or for a big. I was previously of the idea, let him be some mid-running athletic big, even if he can't shoot. Problem with that, you actually have the desire to box out. You actually have the desire to use your shoulders, use your arms, and actually get dirty and gritty. You have to actually put something that's called effort into the game of basketball. Doc Rivers saying game 4 that we were outworked. Ben Simmons was outworked, Doc Rivers. Ben. He was outworked. 4 field goal attempts in 37 minutes of action. And don't give me Embiid and Curry. That's 2 players. 2 players, Doc. Don't tell me that Ben Simmons cannot involve himself in the game. If he's going to go 4 for 14 with the people, how do you get 14 free throw attempts and only 4 field goals? How did that even happen? How did that even happen? There's nowhere else to look, by the way. I'm not, okay, Tobias Harris sucked. Tobias Harris did not hit shots. Tobias Harris went, let's see here. Tobias Harris went 2 for 11. 2 for 11. 2 for 11. Shake Milton played 12 unforgettable minutes. 1 for 5. 1 for 2 for 3. George Hill, 1 for 5. You got 23 minutes combined, 2 for 10. You want to know how many minutes Tyrese Maxey played, Doc? 1 minute and 20 seconds. So this is as much as Doc as it is on the players. I don't know what Doc Rivers is looking at when it comes to the defensive liability that is Shake Milton and the complete offensive liability that is George Hill. Doc, what are you doing? Tyrese Maxey is the starter, averaged 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, or 46% for the field. In other words, a hell of a lot better than what Shake and George Hill were giving you. And yet Tyrese Maxey gets 1 minute and 20 seconds. Does that cost us the game? No, Ben Simmons cost us the game. But here's my problem with Doc here. You didn't put your team in position. If your two backup guards, who you evidently chosen to be your primary backup guards, go 2 for 10 combined, logic suggests, basketball knowledge suggests to go somewhere else. And not just for a minute and 20 seconds. I said this in the recap of Game 4. What did you think you were going to get? What did you think you were going to get in 45 seconds or a minute and 20 seconds? Doc, that's my $1 million question to you. What did you think you were going to get in that short, irrelevant, inconsequential amount of time? I want to know what you thought you were going to get. Because that's ridiculous. I've never seen a rotation that bad in my life. It almost made me wish for Brett Brown back. Seriously. 1 minute and 20 seconds. Wow. There are no words to describe Ben Simmons except trade. You have to trade him. For John Wall, would the Wizards trade Russell Westbrook? Oh my God, I never imagined in a million years that we would actually say, I want Russell Westbrook on this team. But that's where we are. If you're going to give me a guard who can't shoot, but can rebound, facilitate, playmate, actually rebound. 6'3", Russell Westbrook is such a more dominant rebounder than Ben Simmons that makes me cry. Russell Westbrook is willing to put his 6'3" frame, he's willing to go in between the trees and rebound the ball. But in a crucial Game 5, the box out Bogdan Bogdanovic, Ben Simmons, I'm not a physical player. Ben Simmons is fucking soft. He's a fucking pansy. He's 6'10", but he plays little. He has the attitude of a little, he plays little, but he doesn't have the guard skills of a little. It's absolutely... I don't even know what to do now. I really don't. That was the basketball equivalent of Sipiku. That was the basketball equivalent of choke artist. You know that Reggie Miller thing in the Garden? Oh boy, how I would love to have a Reggie Miller instead of a Ben Simmons. Give me a guy that cares. You want to know how Ben Simmons doesn't care about his craft? You want to know how Ben Simmons really doesn't care about how good he is at basketball? No star, no player who cares is going to look himself in the eye at 4-14 and say, this is okay. But that's what he's done for 4 years. Ben and his enablers have made it so that a guy who is physically gifted, you are confusing his athleticism for his talent. If he were not 6'10", 240 and quick, if he was just 6'10", 260 and slow, the dude would be out of the league by now. It's a rare combination of athleticism and height that allowed him to this point to get away without putting in the time. So no, he's not 80% complete just because he has a hook shot. He is 15%, 10%. If you want to say you're 80% complete, you gotta be a decent free throw shooter. You can't be Ben Wallace on the line. And if you are going to be Ben Wallace, are you a center? You don't protect him, like I said, 4 rebounds. You don't play a physical game. So why would I put you at center knowing damn well you're going to let up things in the interior? So even though you're Ben Wallace on the free throw line, unfortunately, you're not really Ben Wallace. Even in the second half, Trae Young shot. Ben Simmons is, you lost the Defensive Player of the Year on merit. Rudy Gobert is a dominant defensive center. Ben Simmons, I don't know if you're really a dominant defensive player. You let Trae Young get left. I've been talking about letting a pocket. You didn't just let a pocket. That was the equivalent of a defensive blitz and didn't even bother That was the cleanest pocket of a lane I had ever seen. You let him go left like it was, bam, like 10 feet of open space. And then obviously you were like the weak side on that. But even if he did have a weak side, you were playing so far to his hip, there was no way he was going to rotate. And that's bad defensive fundamentals. And then Matisse obviously with the bad defensive fundamentals too. You're not going to block shots. Tease, just contest. The contest is more than the block. And it's time to start drilling this. I care more for the contest. I care more for the contest. I don't care for the block. Matisse Thybulle can never get a block again. And if he just stays in the vicinity, contest the shot, I'll live with that. I will live with that. But this is over. The idea of a non-conventional team with no ability off the top, it's over. I am wasting Joel Embiid's years. And you know what? Joel Embiid's going to say the same thing to Daryl Morey. Either he goes or I go. And you saw that game by Joel Embiid. It would be absolutely retarded to let Joel Embiid go. Even in his worst game, he gave you 17 points and 21 rebounds. In Ben Simmons' worst games, he gives you 4 points and 4 rebounds. Or 8 points and 4 rebounds, who cares? That's Ben at his worst. Joel Embiid was gives you 17, 21. Understand the magnitude of the difference. Joel Embiid at 30 is going to still be an All-NBA center. Ben Simmons at 30, he may damn well be out of the league. I ain't even kidding. Once Ben Simmons loses his athleticism and he doesn't have that to back on his non-existent game because you don't have a jump shot, you don't pull up the PT, you don't have a free throw, in fact, you're shooting Ben Wallace on the free throw line. What makes anyone think that Ben's game, such as it is going to age gracefully? What makes you think that Ben Simmons have anything of a prime? This is his prime. And that's the way it had been because no one had the desire to tell this kid, improve at your game. No one wanted to tell Ben, you're not all that. I blame the coaches too. You voted him in for an all-star. Guess what? There's a reason the fans did not vote him in. As far as we fans were concerned, he was not one of the top 15 players in the league at the halfway point. There was a reason, a valid reason, that we did not vote him into the All-Star game. And the coaches, you negated that. I'm speaking to the entire coaching fraternity. You negated that. You said his lack of effort, his lack of production was okay because he had the floor game. And in so doing, you basically enable the worst of his traits, which is, I'm an all-star, so. Coaches, do a favor and stay out of the way. If a player doesn't reach the top 5 of his position in voting totals, there is a very valid, legitimate, actual reason that we fans said he's not good enough. He's not my all-star. And he definitely isn't an all-star, period. I feel like Mark Holmes. I would rather Ben Simmons play for somebody else. You know, shout out to Philly 500. I'm pulling a Mark Holmes here. I would rather if Ben Simmons played for somebody else. That's where we at. Ben Simmons out to play for somebody else. And you're not getting Beal, you're not getting Levine, you're not getting a top 20 player for a guy not even top 50 player as far as I'm concerned. If you could get John Wall, it's a steal. If you can find a way to maneuver and get Russell Westbrook, it's a steal. Those are players, when healthy, who are high caliber basketball players. I don't know what you do moving forward. You're going to lose game 6. You gave a 28-point lead. The Hawks are energized. You're demoralized. And you saw a player go 4 for 14. Doc, I love the offensive game plan. I love the things that you do. But the Clipper fans are like your inability to adjust. You said to yourself, a free throw, a point of possession. That's not how point per possession works, by the way, first of all. But second of all, it costs you. It costs you 2 double-digit leads. It costs you 2 back-to-back 50-point leads in a playoff series. You did this to yourself again. And yeah, you made the adjustment real late, too late. It was already done. You have to understand this. Doc, stop playing favorites. And I don't even know why Ben is your favorite, to be honest. You know, as a coach coming from Lou Williams, coming from Tracy McGrady, and then you go look at Ben Simmons, completely opposite. It stuns me. I think whether it's Doc Rivers, I think whether it's Brett Brown, I think you love what you think he can be without realizing that he isn't even a tenth of the way there. And part of the reason he's not a tenth of the way there, Doc, is because none of you have ever told him that he's not. None of you have ever told Ben Simmons that he's not where he needs to be. Every player reacts differently to different situations. Joel Embiid reacts to you give him a game plan and he's ready to go. There is no game plan for a guy as raw as Ben Simmons. Like, what can you draw up for a guy who can't shoot a jump shot? What can you draw up for a guy who isn't even a good finisher to him? What can you draw up for Ben Simmons specifically? That's not out of you. And even then, Ben Simmons in the dunker spot, flash to the ball. Go to the middle, go to the free throw line, flash, cut, jam. For God's sakes, Chris Wilcox did it. I'm done. He's not a good forward and he's not a good guard. You paid him on an idea and the idea does not exist. It doesn't exist. It's a fantasy. It's something he could reach if he played hard, if he dedicated himself, if he was motivated, if he had drive, if he had passion. But he doesn't have that. As far as he's concerned, the Lamborghinis, the woman, the Call of Duty, that's his mindset. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about anything else. This is Philadelphia, Doc. It's not the Clippers. It's damn straight into Boston. It's not Orlando. It's Philly. We don't do this shit. We did it for far too long. We swallowed this embarrassment, this debacle for 4 years. I'm not giving it a biff. What am I supposed to expect? What do you think I'm going to be looking for? That makes sense. This is like, it's seriously like the abuse of husband and wife, and these are serious circumstances. So if you're in these circumstances, get help immediately. Don't think that you could just stay in those situations. Go in and ask help. But anyway, it's like an abusive wife and husband who beats the living shit out of you, and then goes like, oh, I'm not going to do it again. I've had it for 4 years. Enough. The coaches may want to believe that he's something that he's not. The media may very well want to believe he's something that he's not. I better not hear the words, next LeBron James with a jumper. Because LeBron James goes 4 for 14 for the free throw line. I better not hear that shit. I'm done. Trade Ben Simmons. It's just, I don't know what you're going to get. And at this point, you can't. If Ben meets his potential somewhere else, oh well. So be it. Swallow it. It's whatever. But it's about getting a compliment to Joel Embiid, because he's the only foundational piece you have. Everything else is either young and Tyrese Maxey, who I do believe is a stud, but you have to actually play a stud. You have to actually give a guy minutes. Shocker, isn't it? But it's either a young player, or younger, even more raw players, or nothing at all for on-court miles, liability, defensively, etc. So it's Joel Embiid. Steph Curry is a fine. Oh my God, how did this guy not get minutes sooner? I have no idea. So keep Steph Curry, keep Joel Embiid, but the piles of garbage around him, and yes, Ben is a part of that. For the love of all that is holy, Daryl, blow it up. Get rid of it. All of it. Every single last one of it. And it's not even irrational thinking. It's, you stayed with this iteration with Tobias Harris for 3 years. Ben, his entire career. You've done it. You've tried your patience. Like I said, with abusive husband and wife. You really tried. You believed that he could forgive you. You believed that he could get better. You believed. You trusted the process. You literally on your heart straight for a guy who had no desire. None. No desire whatsoever to improve as a man and to improve as a player. And this town and this city, the sports community of it, we do not and we will not stand for this any longer. It's done. You come great somewhere else, I don't care. Hallelujah. It took you this to wake up. But we don't have time to wait 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. We don't have time to wait. We already have a Hall of Famer. Why should we wait for this guy to turn the corner? I am done with the Stockholm Syndrome. I am getting help. Daryl, get help. Joel Embiid deserves a number 2 on this team. He deserves a guy. Joel Embiid and Damian Lillard would just blow the league up. And actually, no, Joel Embiid with any perimeter scorer would blow the game up. If you had anyone besides Steph Curry, you should have been able to maintain tonight. It's done. And some might say you might be selling low. In all honesty, you might even still be selling high. Is this the worst of the gets? I really don't know. And that's how much disrespect I have for Ben Simmons right now. I don't know if this is low. I don't know if this is rock bottom. I do know, and I'm going to listen to DJ Eastwood stuff too in a moment. I do know that I've had enough. This shit. Think about it. Yeah, Tobias Harris struggled, but for most of the year, Tobias Harris is a good third option. Steph Curry is there. Joel Embiid, the Hall of Famer. This was the year. And you lost 3 games where Ben Simmons cannot hit a free throw. Ben Simmons, just like we said, exactly like we said. It isn't that Joe and Ben can't play together, by the way. It's a new narrative. It's the real narrative. It's that Ben, by himself, is a handicap. And that's why this is going to be difficult. Between Ben's flaws and between his contract, this is worse than Al Horford. The only saving grace is that Ben is 26. That's the only saving grace for this situation. Unlike with the NFL, I don't think you could just trade for a pick. No one's going to trade top 5 pick for Ben Simmons or even top 10 pick. Let's get real. And honestly, I would take that. I would take the 20-year-old guy who has all the potential in the world to improve. We saw Tyreek Maxey play good basketball in meaningful minutes. Who's to say that a young player with more natural skill and desire and work ethic is going to be a better player than Ben Simmons? But then again, for the team that's just rebuilding and doesn't want a back contract, the same argument exists. Maybe to the Knicks for R.J. Barrett, but Ben Simmons is not a compliment whatsoever to Julius Randle. This is where we are. Enjoy it. Enjoy. The time to trade this guy was last year. The time to trade this guy was the trading deadline. Now you're fucked. Six of the universe. I don't want to lose in 7. Let me make this clear, Doc. I don't want to lose in 7. If you get to a 7, you have to win it. Put me out of my misery if you're going to lose the series and lose on Friday. Just lose the game on Friday. Seriously, play Maxey 30 minutes. Play the young players. Let's see what we got. Because this is ridiculous. 6 of the universe. Signing off. Maybe for the final time this season. Peace.